Hello, I'm Marlene Hochman, president of the Toy Museum.
Hi, I'm Federico Male, and I've been working with Marlene for the last almost 10 years.
Right,
Yeah.
10 years. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Toy Museum and to our Toy Inventors Club. We're here to let you know about being an inventor. Okay, should we talk? You have questions for us, or do you want us to tell you a little bit about our organization?
Why don't you can start by introducing yourselves and maybe a little about your organization if you want.
Great. So I founded the Toy Museum almost 25 years ago. I'm an inventor, and we created this toy museum for children, primarily in the New York vicinity. And over the years, it's changed so much because now we're a virtual museum. Since the pandemic, we do things virtually. So we're able to bring our programming to students and classrooms all over the world. And our newest invention is the Toy Inventors Club. And let me tell you a little bit about how it works. So when we go into classrooms in the schools, now we can bring this to you who are watching. So for example, we like to show how toys have changed. This is a very old doll, and you can see how it's changed. Federico, can you hold that for me? Great. And then packaging became a popular thing. So you see how the toys have changed. And then you could see how they've changed again. So we talk a lot about toys from then and now and why toys have changed. For example, here's an old photograph. How can you tell that's old? It's a black and white photograph. So we talk a lot about how toys are really a mirrored reflection of society. So what is popular today, and what is our inventors that are out there watching going to invent in the future? Here's some other things. How can you tell this is an old toy? How can you tell they're old? And what kind of new toy could you invent that would be something along the lines of these, but with modern plastic or other kinds of materials? I like showing, let me show you this one. Back in the day, back in the day, these were popular. Does anyone know what this is? So these are paper dolls, and paper dolls used to be so fun to play with. They're not as popular today. And children would make clothes and put the clothes on the paper dolls. And look at this. This is an old doll dress, but these are not clothes that children play with today. So what we're interested in today is helping you become the inventors of the future. And at the Toy Inventors Club, every kid who signs in or a classroom gets to make a challenge project. So this project is called Invent Your Own Board Game. And teachers can go to our website, and I'll give that to you, Federico. They can go to our website and go to our Toy Inventors Club, download the materials. There's our website. And help their students make a board game. And we have many different choices. So there's a geometry game, a wildlife game,
Hidden items, so all sorts of things. And what we're working on now, right, Marlene, is we're creating like virtual episodes, almost like a TV show that each episode relates to a project, right? So what's really cool about this project is that kids get to see Toy Inventors Club members going through the struggles of what it means to be creative, right? Because sometimes we talk about creativity or inspiration as it's like this magical thing that hits you, and kids can get so frustrated with that. It's like, no, the muses haven't visited me or whatever, right? And it's just frustration. So we see a bunch of different characters getting frustrated, feeling like they have no ideas. And how do you go about that? How do you go about feeling frustrated, feeling like you've hit the wall? So that's what these episodes are for.
Right. We're showing the inside creativity, how someone kind of gets to the point of inventing something, because there's plenty of students that are watching, I hope, who go, I want to invent something, but I don't know how. I don't have the tools. So we're creating these videos that give them the tools. I don't know if we're allowed to screen share on here. Can we screen share?
Yes, you may screen share. Feel free.
Let us show you just like a little clip of our new show. This is just a rough clip.
Great.
And share sound. Here we go. So this is the intro to our show.
The Toy Inventors Club, the Toy Inventors Club. So come to town and come on down to the Toy Inventors Club. We hope we will inspire you to one day invent something new. We'll laugh a ton and have some fun in our life. The Toy Inventors Club, the Toy Inventors Club. So come to town and come on down to the Toy Inventors Club.
So that's just that's just a little intro, right? That tells kids the advantages of, for example, music, right? When you're feeling like, oh, I don't feel like it today, right? Get on your feet, move, shake it out, sing, right? So there's little sections. It's like, okay, now you're stuck. The through line of the show is 3 Toy Inventor Club members trying to go through this project, right? Trying to come up with ideas for the project. And we take breaks where they see different ways. It's like, okay, time for a break. This is what you can do. Have a snack. This is what it'll do for you, right? So we have all these different sections to help you figure out how to be the best possible inventor that you can. Yeah.
And so the reason we're doing a Toy Inventors Club is because we work with students all the time, and we know that toys and children go hand in hand. So we don't want them inventing something that's outside of their comfort zone, but something they totally can relate to. So we've been working on this project for about a year, and we've been taking it into New York City schools, and the teachers really love it. Federico is one of our teaching artists. Do you want to tell something about how the kids are making their wildlife superheroes?
Yeah. So for sure. I mean, it's really funny when we told you about showing them old and new toys, right? It's so curious how they start working on their observational skills, right? It's just like, how can you tell? It's like, it's old, but how can you tell, right? They really have to think about why beyond that it's old or it looks old, right? Like why, pay attention, close attention, right? So that's how we start. And then we've been doing this project that's create your own superhero. So they learned what a prototype is. We make a prototype, right? They learned what a eureka moment is, which that's the word of the day. And then, so it's curious to see their process, right? Because you tell them superhero and they go like Spider-Man, Iron Man, Batman, and you're like, but how can you make that something new, right? Rather than just like putting on paper what you already know. What is it about Batman that you like? And what can be better? What can be different based on what you're interested in, right? Rather than, so we're really interested in just not being like, here's a blank piece of paper, go at it, right? Some kids really need help with that, like something to just kind of like use as a start, right? So it's up to each of them. And some of them, you know, we have a sheet that presents like prototypes so that they can start building their superhero. And some of them are like, nope, use the back of the sheet and, you know, start from scratch. So we're trying to really honor and give them as many tools as possible because there's many styles, right? There's not just one size fits all. So we're trying to really cater to that. Yeah.
And the other thing is all of our projects have been reviewed by teachers and a curriculum is based on all of them. One of the things that the teachers really like is our rules of the game. So it not only works with creativity and imagination, but they have to work on their writing. So any teachers who are watching this or students who want to participate in this, you can know that all of the challenge projects that we have been created with national standards. So it's the writing process, creativity, imagination, innovation, inspiration. We also, where is our little sticker there? We also have these stickers that we love to give to kids when we can. Great idea. We feel that all ideas that children create are great ideas. There's no right or wrong. So anyone who's doing one of our challenge projects, there's no right or wrong.
And it's a challenge, right? That's a challenge in and of its own. It's because they get frustrated so easily, right? The way we're brought up, unfortunately, sometimes it's just like, that's wrong, that's right? A lot of the time. So they just are like, no, I hate mine, and they scratch all over it. And you have to really make them see that that's part of the invention process, right? That's not a mistake per se. It's just like, it's one of many steps for you to get to where you need to get. But it's hard to make them see that, right? Because
Sure.
sometimes the way we're brought up, yeah.
Sure. So anyone who's watching, if you're a school or a student, or homeschool, you can go to the Toy Museum of New York's website and go to the Toy Inventors Club at www.toymuseumny.org and go to the Toy Inventors Club, and you can see how you can just be part of our program. And you get a live webinar, which comes with our program. So you either get myself or Federico or one of our other Toy Inventor
Club members.
Are there some questions? I wanted to show some things like this. This is a new toy. We're not promoting this in any way. But what I wanted to say is the teddy bear was invented over 100 years ago. And the teddy bear has changed so much that this is a new toy. I think this is really funny. This is called a feisty pet. And look what it does. Don't get scared, anyone. You squeeze the ears and it goes like this. It's very funny. You know, I just think like creativity and toys like this are really funny.
And so that's that particular toy we like because, you know, when kids get frustrated, right? Which is why I thought it was so brilliant. It's a way for them to channel their frustration or their anger or their emotion through the toy. So the toy is angry, not so much me, right? And they just get such a kick out of
Right.
that. So those are helpful, you know, in this process, because when they get frustrated, then you get something like that.
And this is another toy that's been invented. I really like this. This company has done recycling of plastic, I believe, and trying to create characters that are part of
the ocean, like the ecosystem. So it's all ocean characters kind of like advocating for recycling and, you know, for the ocean. So it's just, we like to talk about these inventors that we've met at different settings in New York, like the Toy Fair, right? Because we build relationships with them and then they become either guests or a special part of the Toy Inventors Club. So that's another perk of signing up, that we get these brilliant minds as guests in the program.
Sure, yeah. So does anyone have any questions? Do you want to know anything else?
Oh, first of all, I would love to congratulate you because I'm an educator myself at university level, but I'm fully aware of how important it is for students to have creativity. In our education system, as you mentioned, they are so used to having teachers telling them wrong, or that they are afraid of proposing ideas, and this is not fostering creativity. So I think projects like yours are so necessary. And I was going to ask you if you could please type your website in the chat, although you show it, so that everyone can copy it, because I would like to, is it possible to participate from Spain, from a school?
Absolutely. We so want to bring our Toy Inventors Club to the global community. It doesn't just have to be America. We want to invite any schools all over the globe. We're willing to get up early, don't you think?
Absolutely.
You could do the ones that are super early in the morning.
Yeah, well, you know what? I mean, and we're lucky enough to have different like Toy Inventor Club members from different parts of the world. So we could do this workshop in German or in Spanish or like different, you know, so that's also something to consider.
Federico is fluent in Spanish. So
Yes.
And if you need help there, like I would interpret that into Spanish or German if you need.
Great.
Because I find this such an amazing idea that is so worth having in other countries, that if you need support with languages, I'm there, you know.
Thank you. That's so kind. We've just typed the website, everyone, so that you can access them. Yeah.
Yes. There is a question from Alex Samuel Makasha. And he would like to know, will you make it possible for kids to submit 2D designs on toys they really want?
Well, what we're thinking of doing is we're going to set up a social media account for the Toy Inventors Club. And if they participate in one of our workshops through the school or individual ones, they can submit. They can just say, hey, I was part of the Toy Inventors Club. Here's my idea. And we'll just, you know, put that on our social media and they can tag it and pass it around. And I think that's really good for someone who's starting to invent, to put your ideas out there. It might not be your great one, and you can certainly put all your ideas in a journal or something, but we want to we want people to know about you. Get started inventing and let us, promote you as well, especially schools. If there is a school that has some really creative students, we would love to work with you. We did something with one school, a toy invention convention, where we helped the kids. It was like kind of a long process. We helped the kids learn how to create an idea, how to work it out, how to work as a team or work individually. And then after they did their projects, they put them in the cafeteria, lined them up, and then all the parents came and the administrators came and saw their brilliant ideas.
And just to further answer that question, I think one of the very important parts of this is that they get to be part of a community, of a larger community now global, right? And they also get to see, like, I'm featured, someone is taking me under consideration, like what I worked on. So we really want to see, like, we love what you're seeing, right? We want people to see it, to sort of like create an encouraging environment for them to keep moving forward with their inventions, right? So yeah.
And to be thinking about the future. We have one of our challenge projects is, I love this one, building blocks of the future. We all know what children's building blocks look like, but what about if you created something? It's one of the challenges that we allow kids to work on. A building block creation of the future. Will it have solar panels that you connect on to the toys? Will it have like eco-friendly, inside part of the house? So we just want kids to think about what their future looks like and what they could bring to the next generation.
That's great. I might have missed this, but is there a cost involved being a part of the Toy Inventors Club?
Yes, well, it's the same for us as if you came to a field trip at the Toy Museum. And now what we do is we bring the programming into the schools because we no longer have our physical space. We're sharing it with students globally. But yes, we charge approximately $10 per student for our workshops. We feel that's really affordable. New York City teachers have kind of said, that's in a range. So if you go on our website to the Toy Inventors Club, and you'll see you can take one of the programmings, but it comes with a workshop. You get a live person, you get the downloadable materials, you get a certificate so that the students completed something, you get the national standards here in America.
And eventually access to these videos that we're telling you about.
Right. So the students will, the classroom will get a curated video on the struggles that it takes to be an inventor. And then the music, our clubhouse band sings songs about invention. So that will be part of it. So they can show their students the video, download the material, and then schedule a Zoom where the Toy Inventors Club comes right into the classroom.
That sounds awesome. I will connect with you guys offline, and I'm in sort of the K through 12 young entrepreneur space. So love to connect and see if we can collaborate with something and spread the word about what you're doing.
Thank
It's
you.
awesome. Yeah.
We appreciate that. Thank you.
So are there any other questions that you might have? I'm looking to see if I can show you any more of our toys that we have. This was Hi, I just want to show you this toy was invented a long time ago. It's really a funny toy. I remember it. It's the Tessie toy, and the ponytail used to come up, and you could, like, I think, crank the arm of the doll and the ponytail would come up, and then it would have long hair. Brilliant idea. And what we like to say to children is, who invented these toys? It's a person. It's a person who one day goes, you know what? I think I'm going to invent something. So let me just tell you this quick invention. Here in Brooklyn, the teddy bear was invented in 1902. And it's because a family that had moved here from Russia was reading the newspaper about Theodore Roosevelt, who went hunting on an expedition and didn't shoot a bear in the woods. And so this couple said, boy, wouldn't that be nice to honor the president and name something after the president? And what is the nickname for Theodore? Teddy. That's how they got the name for the bear. It was a nickname. And they put it in their little candy store window. And before you know it, all the children were buying these little toys to honor the president. And they sold so many that they ended up naming their company the Ideal Toy Company. And it grew and grew and grew. And then they had a big factory and moved out to New Jersey, I think it was. Mm-hmm. And that's how a toy gets discovered. It's somebody who's reading the newspaper, who's looking outside. Maybe it's their great aunt or uncle's toy that they brought from another country. And when you put your mind to the invention of a toy, and when you meet some of the toy inventors, it's so amazing to hear how they did it. I spoke to one toy inventor one time. I said, how do you get your ideas? And he was like, when I drive over the bridge. I don't know what it is about the bridge, but when I drive over, that's when ideas come to me. So we want to encourage.
Whoops, I think they froze. Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
For a moment, I thought it was just me who was
oh,
lagging.
no. You froze for a second. Now we can't hear you. You're muted.
Oh, no, we're not muted.
Oh, now you're good.
You're back.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
let me just tell you the other side of the coin. I personally have never invented a toy, but I have invented other things. And whenever I'm looking for ideas, I go to a toy store and just wander around because there are some incredibly clever mechanisms and gadgets and ways of doing things. And I have stolen more ideas from toy designers than I can tell you. So, that's the other side. Toys are creative and people use that as a basis for other things.
Absolutely. Toys, people understand toys, and games. We love when kids invent games. It can be about anything. Games. You can make a game on the environment. We went into a classroom one time and we said, make a game about saving the planet. There's so many things we could do. Make a game about Zooming. What does that feel like? Are there any questions from the chat that we should be looking at or anything like that? Anyone have any questions about invention, or if you want to connect with us or all that good stuff? We're happy to be here today. This is a great organization. Thank you for inviting us and letting us be part of this.
Actually, I think I might have one last question before I also might head out as a host. So I heard that you guys are based in New York. Is that correct?
Yes.
Have you ever thought, I'm not sure if you already have, but do you already have like physical bases or establishments in other parts of the country or other parts in your area that people could also visit?
No, we had a space in New York for a good while. And then with COVID and stuff, it just didn't make sense. And you know what? After 25 years, I'm the founder of the Toy Museum. What I have found is kids like to look at old toys, but they really want to play with them. And like, for example, this old doll, where did she go? Let me see that old doll. This one. No, this little one right here. Like a doll like this, which is maybe, 80 years old. We really can't let kids, play with old toys. So what we found is if they want to look at the old toys and they want to play with the old toys, that's great. But really what kids want to do is make up their own. So that's why we're doing the Toy Inventors Club.
All right, I love that. I love this club. So part of me, I'm not a teacher. Still kind of a bit too young to be one of a teacher right now. But I've always been, what's the word for it? Enamored, or I've always been in awe, let's say that, with the world of education. Personally, it's something that I might be thinking about pursuing in the future. And I'm really happy seeing all these people, especially in this new generation, more focused on the creativity and the inventionness level of the child, if you know what I mean. Their level of innovation and just really, let's say, watering the flower that is their brain instead of trying to conform it into normal standards. I really love what you guys are doing and
Thank
just
you.
letting the kids just explore and invent all they want like that. So a part of me also wishes there was an inventors club, but for teens, so that I would join.
Well, we're going to do that. You can count on us. We will eventually have a Toy Inventors Club, and we will have maybe monthly meetings where you can be part of our club and you'll be talking to inventors.
Yeah.
We'll have some hosts that are toy inventors. We'll give you a challenge project. So we are working on that, and you can count on us for doing that. And the last thing that I just want to say is we're hoping one day that schools have invention time. So kids can
Well, that's
maybe
a
for
great
30
idea.
minutes have invention time. No rules, nothing like that. They just get a chance to invent something. I've invented so many things through the museum that it would have been great as when I was a kid to just invent things, because I did it anyways. But this gives all children a chance to just have some invention time. So stay with us. join our crusade to bring invention to the world through toys, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah, thank you for saying that because that's so reassuring. Last school I went to, one of the teachers was like, "You should make this for adults," and I'm like, "Okay, we'll make note that adults also want to play, right?" I mean, Jake, you were saying you go to toy stores, right, to take your inspiration. So there's like kind of like this ageless thing about toys. It really that the inner child, right, that we all have. So I think that's just very reassuring to hear you say that because we're gonna pursue that.
Yeah, I just want to once again tell you the other side of the coin. Your comment about schools, and it would be wonderful if schools did that. It's not going to happen. It's just not. I'm a teacher. I'm just telling you, there's so much pressure on the schools for covering all kinds of stuff. That's the bad news. The good news is that's what makes your organization and your program so valuable, because it's giving the students an intellectual nutrition that they can't get in a typical traditional school environment. So if schools did what you do, then there would be no need for you to do it. The fact
Well,
that
we're happy to come into the schools and be an enhancement to their program.
you have to be, because they cannot, structurally, they're just not capable of doing. It's not that the teachers don't want to do it. Teachers love to do it, but the organization will not enable them to do that. And so that makes you valuable. You know what I mean? You need water, and when it's not raining, and that's the situation. So yeah,
Nicely said, Jake. Yeah, thank you.
very good. Well, that's excellent. And now I have to go yell at my mother because she threw away all my old toys.
Oh, no. We hear that a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. This is very interesting.
Thank you so much. We're so glad to be part of your organization. And we'll send this link around to our social and spread the word. And anyone who's watching, again, here is our information just so you can see it. Feel free. We give this to some of the kids. It's keep your invention ideas in here. It's a little.
Hold that up again. Hold that up again. Okay, everybody take a screenshot right now. Excellent.
There you go.
Very good.
Beautiful.
Well, thank you all very much. Boy.
Thank you for having us, and we hope to see some of the students in the schools visit us or reach out to us through our website. Thank you
Great.
again. Have a great program.